Hey ladies, this is Sarah Martin, and I am so thrilled that you have taken your time out of your busy day to check back into She Seeks. I hope you enjoyed the inspirational entry in our Explore Culture and the quiz that we added on Monday, and I'm so glad that you decided to come back and check in for our video blog. This is a new feature that we have at She Seeks, and just for future reference, sometimes you might hear it be referred to as vlog, V-L-O-G, video blog. So again, my name is Sarah Martin, and you have found me in my office, quote unquote, which is basically my guest bedroom, and I am sitting on the guest bed because I cannot stand sitting at a desk. So this is where you'll often find me in my jammies. I did take the time to put on a little lip gloss and some cute earrings just so I could save face and not just be strictly in my pajamas. But I hope that you know that this is every single video blog, every single thing that we put on She Seeks is just us. And so I just thought I'd come to you just as I am in my jammies. So again, thanks again for checking in and taking time to read and communicate with us, and maybe communicate with ladies that are in the 20 something age bracket as well. And we just hope that you're blessed by it as well. So let's get on to our video blog for this week. And I know that you've enjoyed reading, and I hope that you got a lot out of the inspirational entry that was written by Lisa Whittle, which is on the topic of gossip, and in general it's on the topic of our mouth and the way we communicate. And I thought it was really interesting how Lisa challenged us to look to truth and find truth within ourselves, so that when we communicate, we are communicating in a way that is uplifting and encouraging and positive, rather than a way that is negative and bringing others down, maybe through gossip or just speaking lies. But instead, to strive for truth in the way that we speak, and strive for anything that is good and positive that we can communicate to those around us. And what really, the reason why that really struck me is, I have to be very honest with you. There was a time where my mouth and the way I communicated could be either my greatest strength or my biggest weakness, or tool of just junk. And it's funny because I started talking at 9 months old, and my mom would probably tell you that I haven't shut up since, but that's another story. But that's probably the reason why my mouth is just such an either or with me. I mean, it's either a good thing or a bad thing. I can either say really encouraging words, which is what I love to do, or sometimes things can slip out that I'm kind of like, ew, glad I wish I would have filtered that a little bit. So I started thinking about a time where, and in the interest of being purely confessional here and being real with you, there was a time where I had a mouth pretty much like that of a sailor. I could cuss you up and down, use every string of four-letter words, and think nothing of it. And it really wasn't a good way to communicate with anybody, by stringing those words together, and it didn't portray me in a very good light. I probably look pretty tacky, to be honest with you. And so there was a time in my life where I finally just said, okay, I've got to clean my mouth up. This is not something that makes me look maybe professional to those around me for work or whatever. So I decided that also that I needed to, the image that I was portraying was not glorifying to God either, which is what really got me to change my manners. So the way that I thought, and I thought maybe this would help somebody, is the way that I really started working on my mouth and how I communicated was, I started thinking about that whole old adage that says garbage in, garbage out. And if you think about it, the things that we put into our mind and the things that our heart mulls over, things that are just junk, they really are reflected in the way that we speak. So I turned to the Bible, and I realized that I needed to start filling my mind. I needed to start filling my heart with things that are pure, things that are truthful, things that are just not, well, junk. And so that really was a turning point for me, because then I started filling myself up with those things that I just listed, and then that the way that it overflowed was in a more pure, quote unquote, uh, way of communicating with those around me, and just way of communicating in general. So I thought I'd put my 2 cents in on that, and I would love to hear what you all think about it, as far as how you see your way of communicating, your mouth or your tongue, how you have maybe conquered old habits of junk, like I mentioned before. And I thought before I close, I would read you Proverbs. Let's see, it's Proverbs 16, verse 23. And it says, "A wise man's heart, a wise woman's heart, uh, a wise man's heart guides his mouth, and his lips promote instruction." A wise man or woman's heart guides his or her mouth. So when our hearts are pure, when our hearts are in the right um, place, as far as um, not filled with junk, then that is reflected in the way we communicate. And it's so important to remember that the way we communicate and the way we speak and talk about different issues, and um, really does reflect on who we are. And I would hate for others to think of me and base judgment and place judgment on me by the way I speak. If it's, especially if it's not in a very pleasant manner. So I am a success story to an extent, as far as when you put good things in, usually good things come out of my mouth, rather than that garbage in and garbage out. So thanks so much for checking in, and look forward to hearing your thoughts. And stay tuned for next week's She Seeks. It's going to be a great inspirational entry by Shannon, and it's about what we believe, and is it okay to question what you believe. So stay tuned, and have a great evening or morning or wherever you are right now. Thanks so much.